All right, hi everybody. So you should have a bunch of different papers for this one. You should have this page, and then you should also have, oops, I didn't realize I had all in there, the two more problems page, and you should have the do-it-yourself story problems, which is 3 pages. All right, that's the order we're going to do them in as well. Actually, let me get rid of most of these things. We'll have 1, 2 problems sheet, one of these, and one of those. All right, cool. So yesterday I mistakenly said that today we were going to look at unit fractions divided by a whole number. We're going to do that on Monday. So today we're going to practice this idea of dividing a whole number by a unit fraction. So I want you to kind of first think about yesterday. What was some learning that you had? Just take a moment and think. If you want to write it down somewhere in the corner or something like that, you can. So just kind of think about yesterday. Okay, so hopefully you remembered us going over sharing and grouping, and we had some different equations or like situations, and we tried to think of a sharing in a grouping way. And then when we got to the fraction, the whole number by the fraction, the unit fraction, there was one of them we could not do. So we're going to do that today. You're going to have to hold on to this paper and go back to it. We're going to go over specific strategies that we can use. We're going to do 2 more problems. You're going to just select one of these, and then the do-it-yourself, you're going to have to go through that, and I'll explain that. Okay, so a bunch of stuff to do today. I have realized that some of you do not listen to the audio of the videos, and so I'm going to start making sure you are listening, and the way I'm going to do that is I will orally give you some instructions to do. So like, for example, at this point you will need to draw a circle around the word name. So right where you write your name, you should circle that word, so I know that you are listening to me. All right, cool. So we'll have different things like that happening. So the first one we're going to look at is 10 divided by 2. So go ahead and think of a sharing story problem and a grouping story problem. Pause the video and we'll come back to it. All right, 3, 2, 1. If I'm going to go with the same thing, I have 10 cookies. Okay, 2 friends. How many cookies does each get? Okay, and then we have 10 cookies. 2 per bag. How many bags? Cool. And that would be 5, right? So now let's think about 10 divided by 1/2. Think of a sharing story problem, a grouping story problem. Go ahead and pause and go. Okay, so obviously we cannot do the sharing one. We can't take 10 cookies and divide them amongst half a friend. All right, so we're not doing sharing. Go ahead and make an X there, acknowledging that you listened and understood. We can do a grouping story problem, though. So I can have 10 cookies, and I can break them in half, right? And I can say half per bag. Or I could have 10 kilos of something, 10 kilograms of oatmeal, and I want to put half a kilo of oatmeal in every bag. I could have 10 cups of sugar, and I want a half a cup of sugar in each serving of pancakes. So how many can I make? Things like that. So 10 cookies, half per bag. How many bags? Okay, and so again, that means it's going to be a lot, right? Because 2 is 5, and this half. So if I put half in a bag, half in a bag, half in a bag, I have my 10 cookies. I do half of each one. Right, there's 2 halves in 1, so if I have 10 of them, that means I'm going to have 20. Okay. So to acknowledge that you've listened to this, you can circle or draw a rectangle around the word problem. All right, cool. Now we're going to jump over here to the 2 more problems. Again, you can do all of them if you want. You can just choose one and work on it. Again, if you go over 5-10 minutes working on it, I would just then move on with your life and check the video and see how it did, and that will be in the next video. So again, create a labeled visual model. Represent and solve the problem, write an equation. So those are the things that you need to do. And in fact, why don't you underline those things to let me know that you understood that.